Consider supporting Anime Herald on Patreon. Get early access to podcasts and behind-the-scenes stories for $1 a month, and have a say in our podcast topics, anime club shows, and more for $5. Link below in the description. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nerd Talk, the only podcast where we're striking down anime strike every day of the week. I'm Mike Furr, and I'm joined by Lydia Rivers.
Hi, everybody.
And Happy New Year, everybody. It's a brand new year of Nerdy Talk, and we are in a completely new horizon. Phasing out the ads, going straight to Patreon, and it's an exciting time for the site.
I am loving it so far. And as far as anime goes, this new year is great.
Oh man, yeah. This season has already been promising so far.
The season, anime strike is dead.
Yes!
Rest in peace. I want to forget about you as soon as possible.
Man, I wonder how long it'll be before that just kind of completely disappears from people's memories.
The sooner, the better.
Amen to that. And for those who aren't aware of what we're talking about, on January 5th, Amazon officially killed Anime Strike. The channel was active for a good part of the day, but all of the titles that were marked as Anime Strike exclusive were migrated to Amazon Prime. And basically, their Twitter account, their Facebook page, all their social media presence for Anime Strike just completely shut down that day. Amazon commented on the matter, stating, "We have decided to move the curated catalogs of Anime Strike and Hero, which was, say, Bollywood and Indian programming, into Prime Video so that more customers can enjoy this content as part of their Prime membership." Now, this is a day to celebrate because Anime Strike was always seen as kind of that thorn in the side of a lot of fans, because it was $5 on top of a Prime subscription, which for a lot of people meant a double paywall, which, yeah, no bueno. And it stung because Amazon scooped up the rights to the Noidamina and Animism blocks, which get a lot of high test content. So, yeah, this is a day to be happy.
And I am. I thought it was a mistake when I logged into my Amazon Prime Video and saw all of a sudden the anime showing up in my recommended videos. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then the news broke, and I did a silly little, completely inappropriate for an adult happy dance. It was basically candy for my heart.
I think that having a happy dance that day was the proper reaction for all anime fans. I do not know a single anime fan that liked Anime Strike.
I had my tablet, and I was reading, and yeah, I was in the kitchen, and my roommate gave me a really strange look, and it was good times.
Oh man, I scared my coworker because I was in my cube when the news broke. On social media, I was going through, and LB actually pinged me. He's like, "Dude, Anime Strike is dead. Take a look at this." And I just let out this very audible "Yeah!" And my coworker's looking at us like, "Is everyone okay?"
Is something on fire? Did you lose all your code?
Oh man, yeah, that was. Thankfully, did not lose my code.
Yes.
I did get some strange looks that day.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope that this helps people be more legal with their viewing too, because I know that a lot of people went sailing the high seas for this content because they were pissed, and they decided that because Amazon's going to be a corporate dick about it, that they're going to be they're going to circumvent the law. And I really like people to follow the laws and make sure that they're going through the proper channels to consume anime. So on that front, this is really good news too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, hopefully creators, some creators throw up their hands and they say, "This is your fault, consumers. There's nothing we can do about this," etc., etc. And then, consumers point at the channels like this, double paywall, and they say, "Actually, it's your fault." And there's this blame game, etc., etc. So I think this is a good solution. I don't mind paying the extra $2 a month or whatever it is for this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's a fair compromise, you know? I mean, on the plus side, I can definitely just see them charging $2 more a month for Amazon Prime just because even at $12 a month, it's still a really good value. But charging that $5 on top of the Prime subscription just felt like it was going too far.
It was, especially because they've divided so many of their services into separate subscriptions. I mean, like their music channel, a lot of people came to depend on it for uploading their own content and, as an alternative to like iTunes. Um, and they just axed that part of it. Um, if you're grandfathered in, you can keep it, but if you're not, then you don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And gosh, what else did they separate out?
They've done that with quite a few of their services, though, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad that they're being responsive to it at least. At
Like,
least the numbers. At least they'll
mm,
be responsive to numbers.
oh yeah, likewise. I mean, I'm glad that they're taking this tack. I mean, considering that last year they had some of the must sees that were coming through the channels like Linda Lustrous, Anonymous Noise, Main Abyss. I mean, they had stuff that, let's be honest, a lot of people were watching it and they weren't watching on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because there's only one show that they wanted to watch. I mean, I'm not making excuses for them at all. I didn't watch them at all.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm excited to go back and catch up on some of them. But I mean, when there's only one show that you want to watch on a channel, it's not, you guys, this isn't Disney. We're not going to subscribe just to see one movie, like I don't know,
Yeah,
but they learned.
this isn't Disney, and we're not talking about Frozen.
Exactly.
So Amazon, good to see you. Let it go. Let it go.
Thank you. And they didn't even offer a good experience for that $5 a month. I
Yeah.
will always complain about how they handle subtitles.
Oh man, I hate their subtitles because it's literally just closed captions.
Except it's not even closed captions. Like closed captions have a limited number of characters in the box to make it
Mm,
easy to read. And closed captions have things for deaf and hard of hearing,
mm,
things that they don't include. Um, but for general subtitles, they translated the things that appeared on as text on
mm-hmm.
the screen sometimes, which is great. You should in
Mm,
order to get the entire experience. But they crammed it all into that box. So if two people were talking in the same frame, and then you had two different texts on there, it was all together.
mm.
And
Yeah.
so, unless you have a really developed ear, you can't tell who's saying what and which text is what.
Mm.
So it was really frustrating as a fan to see. Yeah.
I agree fully. I mean, I I am one of those people where it's like I'm picky about my subtitles. I'm not gonna lie. So when I saw that, I was like, oh.
Overlays are the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's not too crowded. You can digest everything on the screen. It's a lot easier to tell who's talking if you don't have an ear for, foreign languages. So, yeah.
Yeah. Although they haven't quite given up on the idea of channels yet. I mean, they did introduce a Pokemon channel this week where it's $3 a month for something like 10 seasons of Pokemon and a couple movies.
I um I don't know what to say. And they took the seasons down from their digital sales, right?
Yep. They were available for purchase for at least up to the day when they announced this, because I remember doing the math on the costs on everything, and when we went to check in the pre-show period, that it's just exclusive to Pokemon Channel now.
I hope that that works out well for them.
I hope I hope it works out as well as Anime Strike did. Let's put it that way.
I wonder, I mean, I always wonder about the behind the scenes thing. Like, is this the Pokemon company's deal? Did they want this? Or did Amazon approach them and say, "Can we do this?" Like, what's the deal with this?
We can make you more money. Just let us do what we want with it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, at this point, honestly, though, it seems like they're kind of throwing darts at the wall to see what'll stick.
It really
Maybe
feels that way.
specific fans will pay, a very
Mm,
specific fan group will pay extra per month. An entire 3/5 of what the
yeah.
other ones paid for lots of different anime.
I think that's what makes me laugh the most. I mean, they're charging $3 a month for this, and you're getting literally just 10 seasons of Pokemon, and up until recently, they were all on Netflix. So there's a good chance that most people at this point had a chance to kind of binge through them already.
Yeah. Um, so I guess, parents out there, if your children like to watch and rewatch Pokemon, have fun with your new $3 a month bill.
Yep. And for everyone else, keep on, carry on. Just
And if you're a big enough fan to not care about that, respect.
agreed.
Yeah, I love some Pokemon.
I love
Not
me
that
some.
much,
I
but
love me some old school Pokemon. Like,
yeah. Oh gosh, I used to watch it the horrible dubbed version on TV when I was getting ready for school.
oh man,
The first gen.
I still remember those.
When they called onigiri donuts. Yeah.
Yes, jelly donuts.
Donuts! And he's holding up these rice balls. And
Yeah,
I'm
just
like, those don't look like donuts. What's going on?
they got wise later on. They started superimposing real food, like American food over them. Like I think one of them they actually pasted a sandwich over a giant onigiri.
Is that what happened? Oh
Yup.
my god. Oh. I wonder what the voice actors felt when they were recording those lines.
Oh man, I have to wonder myself. I mean, yeah, you go.
It's easier now, kids, to look up stuff on the internet. If you don't know what a rice ball is, just wiki or Google on your phone. The world is at your fingertips. I guess back then we had I don't know, dial-up AOL.
Yep,
Yeah.
back then we had dial up and Carta
And Netscape.
and Netscape, yes.
GeoCities.
GeoCities, the place where web design went to die. And I know this because I had a GeoCities site.
Did we all?
Yep.
It was like the place to go experiment with this new technology. Woo.
What's this? Free web space? Okay. What's the
Hey,
catch? What's that? You're closing? Why? It's free web space. It's free real estate.
Oh my
Oh man.
gosh. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was and everybody was like, don't look up stuff on the internet back then.
Yep. You can't trust the internet, and now
Yeah.
let's be honest. The first time we don't know something, the first destination is Wikipedia.
Exactly. Or Google.
Honestly, I want to date myself here. I feel really old because my when we were first going online, like the internet didn't even have like a search engine. What you had was these giant books of just IP addresses and stuff like that for websites. It was basically like an internet phone book.
Yeah. Good old DNS, right?
Yep.
I started after DNS, so I mean, I was into like console gaming before I got into internet stuff, so I came a little late.
Hmm.
It was definitely after DNS became the way to go. But it's like, I don't know, 90 97, I think. That started really
Hmm.
spending a lot more time on the internet. Much to my mother's phone bill's
Ah,
detriment.
yes.
Haha.
Back when
Oh
they
my
used,
goodness.
back when AOL charged by the hour.
So yeah, if you're consuming foreign media and you don't understand something, you can look it up very easily now. We don't have to have sandwiches and donuts superimposed over things like rice balls and I don't know, curry? I don't know, whatever else they did. Seriously.
I know, really. It's very different world.
Goodbye, anime strike. I will not miss you.
Farewell, Anime Strike. I'll think of you once in a while when I'm researching stuff. Then I'll smile as I turn on Amazon Prime.
Yay. It's nice to have my anime recommendations next to things like Downton Abbey. Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. I love it.
It's great.
It is. That's why I kept Amazon Prime Video
Hmm.
and not Anime Strike.
Anyway, moving on. Our next topic will honestly be of interest to a lot of people that enjoy older media, particularly cell collectors. Um, Earlier this year, like early January, coalition of members from the Japanese Diet, who represent the quote unquote manga, anime, and games group, introduced plans to create what they call a National Media Arts Center. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The National Media Arts Center will be tasked with collecting and storing, and I quote, original editions of manga and anime cells, with the aim of preventing these materials from leaving the country. They aim to build a state-run building in Akihabara, which would be free to the public and hold exhibitions and provide detailed information on various anime-centric events through Japan. But the big thing is they're basically trying to collect any and all sales that are in the secondary market at this point if this goes through.
I
And
have mixed feelings about this.
well, I know a few more than a few cell collectors just because well, I'm an old fart. But the average consensus has been over my dead body.
Yeah, that's understandable from their viewpoint.
Hmm.
I'm not a cell collector, so I looked at this article from the as sympathetic with the original creators.
Hmm.
And I understand the desire to preserve something that's considered cultural heritage. Um, and so I sympathize with that too. Um, but from what it seems like, the original report. it seems like that they're coming and the government is going to appropriate this private property and the creators are going to have no say about it. Is that what it seems like to you?
Pretty much. Because the creators have no say, as they've given up their rights to the property to create the anime adaptation in that particular instance. So this would be, from what I understand, purchasing up excess stock from studios, stock from collectors, sellers, independent owners, things like that.
So by creating the anime, they are agreeing to let the government come and take all of their original stuff?
Well, to be honest, cells have not been used for many years at this point. I want to say they started switching to digital in the late 90s, early 2000s was when
Mm.
you had that transition go through.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, anything they're picking up now is going to be cells for older shows. So we're looking at. I I know that I want to say they switched over to cells in like 2000, 2001. So stuff that's like 19, 20 years old at this point, if not older. The only thing they'd really be able to get from newer productions is pencil sketches and line art, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which it sounds like they. It sounds like this might not be as much of a focus because they specifically stated cells in the bill here.
Hmm.
Hmm. I mean, I'll be honest. I find it kind of funny, in a lot of ways because for many years, cells were treated as basically toxic waste. They could not get rid of them, and because they use such toxic materials in producing them, um, the celluloid sheets, the special paints,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't dispose them in a standard manner. So what would happen is you'd have them either just dumping them out on the cheap to collectors, or um, actually my favorite one is Animego. For the longest time used to sell cells by the bag because Robert Woodhead, on one of his trips to license or something like that, he agreed to take home some cells, and they sent him home with a literal truckload of cells from this show called Free Kick to Tomorrow, which was this obscure soccer series that no one watched. And up until they redesigned the site in the mid 2000s, they were still selling cells by the pack from that show.
Wow. And now they're being treated like national cultural treasures.
hmm I mean, there were some that were highly protective of their cells. I mean, Studio Ghibli keeps theirs in a museum, which I can understand.
Mm.
Gainax keeps theirs under lock and key. The ones that exist in the market today were actually stolen.
Wow.
Um, but Toei Animation, JZ Staff, uh, let me think, AIC, a lot of them just end up filtering out because, let's be honest, they didn't want them, and it was seen as just garbage.
What about the original copies of manga? Are they talking about like
That
the
I'm not.
template print or?
That I'm not too sure about because it was very vague. I mean, I could definitely see some merit in that because first edition manga. I mean, if they're talking collected volumes, then that's one thing. If they're talking actual, like the debuts, the manga magazines, well, that's more nuanced because a lot of those old manga books just don't exist anymore because it's just they're printed on newsprint, and there's actual in Japan there are actual just garbage bins just for manga. Like
Yeah.
it's so disposable, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're magazines,
Exactly.
not glossy magazines.
No, it's I have a couple of Japanese Shonen Jumps, and they're just cheap newsprint.
Mhm. Well, even like page layouts are done electronically now. Are
Hmm.
you think they're talking about like editor's copies or
They might be. If so, then that could be interesting because that would be well worth preserving.
yeah.
I mean,
At the
so
same time, I don't know.
yeah. At the same time, it's hard to say at this point because it's just
As American, it's really difficult to justify the government coming in and taking private property like that. It's
hmm,
difficult for me. I mean, I understand, but I don't know. It seems like giving them a choice of what they would requiring something to preserve, like requiring them to hand over something to preserve, and then letting them giving them some kind of choice in the matter would
hmm.
would make it feel a lot better to me. Uh,
Agreed. I mean, honestly, if they did it like say,
Like, are they gonna come into Studio Ghibli and be like, "You need to give us your cells now
yeah,
for our new library in Akihabara because there might be some point in time in the future where your stuff might get sold to foreign countries or something." Like, I don't know.
exactly. I think that's what the thing that really got me was the straight up. We want to keep these from leaving the country. It's like so. The basic message is you don't want the gaijin to get this stuff.
I mean, I can kind of understand how they might
Hmm.
see it like, you know, if they're seen as national treasures, like the museums in Egypt, they've been recollecting all the stuff that's left from ancient Egypt, the parts of their cultural heritage. I
Hmm.
understand why you wouldn't want that to be locked up in some British museum or, in New York City or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, um, I understand wanting to bring it home, but at the same time, the people who created this stuff aren't dead. They haven't been dead for 3,000 years.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they they're people who still own the rights to the like, I don't know. You can see I'm kind of all over the place on this, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Make it some compromise. Say, okay, Studio Ghibli, you can give me, you know, 5 pieces or whatever, and then, the
Hmm.
rest don't come in and appropriate all of them and decide what you're gonna keep. That's
Right.
just wrong. Too much power. I don't like it.
That or honestly, probably the ideal option would be okay. We're willing to pay this much for your cells. We can go up to this
Yeah.
much if you're interested. But I mean, like
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli, they have a museum and they take very good care of their stuff. I mean, um, they have a lot of pride in their production process, and they, they probably do a better job preserving it than any government would. But at the same time, like I said, like JC Staff, Toei, AIC, a lot of these, I don't want to call them factory studios, but the ones that churn out a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
I mean, they went through reams upon reams upon reams of cells, and it's like it became less of a priority. So I could definitely see wanting to save at least some of those, especially from works that are incredibly prominent, like say the Slayers, Revolutionary Girl Utena, Future Boy Conan, uh,
One Piece.
One Piece. Yeah, because One Piece did make that transition from cells to
Hmm.
digital. You're right. But yeah, stuff like that where it's actually landmark stuff. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think people are gonna be flocking to Akihabara to look at your battle athlete cells.
No. If I'm in Akihabara to begin with, I'll go. I'll go and I'll have a blank look on my face because I still won't know how I feel about this.
Hmm.
It feels wrong. I understand why they want it, but it feels wrong
Hmm.
to have complete control. I don't know. Would you want to be the guy to tell Miyazaki that you're coming and taking his stuff? Like,
uh,
even even if your heart's in the right place, would you do that?
uh, here's the thing. I would be terrified of Miyazaki because he is a tough man. I mean, let's
He
be honest.
is no quarter. Like,
I mean, this is an elderly man who still works the 12, 13-hour work day of an animator. I mean, he retired twice and he's coming back again.
retirement is temporary, apparently. Yes. Retirement is when you take a break.
Yep.
It's a vacation.
So, I mean, I'd be afraid to go after Miyazaki, let's be honest. I mean,
Yeah, I forgive the vulgarity, but I would it would take some balls to be that diet member explaining how you're going to take
yeah.
Miyazaki's stuff from his museum. I can preserve it better than you, right? Sure you can.
Like
It's
we
for the national good. Mm-hmm.
hmm There's the door.
At the same time, they best be consulting with someone like Miyazaki and how to do it too.
That would be my hope. I mean, if they did this right, I'd have no problem. Like if they got the industry approvals, things like that, like here's how to do it, but I mean, the big concern is getting that stuff that's completely out in the open. Like, I mean, there are thousands of cells that are just in collectors' homes now. Like, I'll be honest, I have a few. Um,
Yeah.
I know people that have cell collections that are in the hundreds. So, I mean, rounding them up, especially considering that you're going to jurisdictions that may not fall under your purview, is going to be difficult, if not impossible. Because I'll be honest, there are cell collectors that are incredibly competitive. And like I said before, they will say over my dead body.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't I don't mind that so much because
Mm,
it's still going to be their choice whether they want to sell it
exactly.
back to this the what are they going to call it, the National Media Arts Center.
Yep.
Um I mean, that'll be a matter of choice.
Hmm. I
Just
mean,
like any other art, people selling from their private collections to museums. And,
honest.
it's a good place to donate if you need to leave a will and you don't have anybody else that appreciates the stuff as much as you do. It's a safe place to
Hmm,
donate your stuff
absolutely,
to make
and
sure that it'll be appreciated.
because honestly, cells are very finicky. Unless they're in the exact right circumstances, they get something called vinegar syndrome, where the paints and stuff like that just start to break down.
Yeah.
Which it's a shame because they are just amazing, gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
So I like if I could get a promise that oh yeah these will be stored properly and properly maintained, then I'd be like I'd be willing to say yeah take it because let's be honest, mine are in a dark closet in my bedroom right now.
Well, it's good though
Yeah.
that it's dark.
Oh yeah.
So,
So yeah.
so there are positives and negatives, I
Yeah.
guess. It just they could be a little less heavy-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. That's just my perspective as an American, I guess. I don't I don't like it when governments get that heavy-handed about things like this.
Yeah. It's chilling.
Yeah, I mean, my first response would be the hell you will. Like, you're gonna come in and take my stuff?
Exactly.
You could come in and say, I'm gonna need a couple of your stuffs to preserve, and then I'll be like, okay, I guess I could compromise with you. But
Hmm.
you're gonna let me decide what I give.
Exactly.
And that is much more palatable to me. Oh, Japan.
Oh, Japan.
Well, I hope it works out for the best for everybody.
Hmm.
And it would
Uh,
be nice if I don't find any cells at garage sales after this opens. There would be no excuse.
yeah.
If you don't have anybody to leave your cells to, don't let your kids get rid of them,
Nope.
at garage sales, please. Estate sales. Donate them to the National Media Arts Center.
I'm genuinely curious if it'll actually pass because as of recording time, it hasn't gone up to vote yet, and this has always been kind of a pseudo contentious thing because it's going to be an expensive endeavor. Let's be honest. If I remember correctly, they want to set one up in Kyoto, and it was what?
Really?
Yep, it was estimated to
Why?
cost
Kyoto.
by Kyoto. Well,
Because it's just a tourist destination in general?
it's a prominent location too. Kyoto is home to a lot of landmark businesses and organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the biggest notable one is Nintendo.
Yeah.
So there are some definite resources there to draw from. But they were looking to spend 11.7 billion yen, 103 million,
Wow.
103,923,327 dollars and 68 cents in U.S. dollars, and it almost happened. But it the prime minister got voted out, and it just died.
Hmm. Well, I guess it'll just depend on how serious they are about deeming anime as national treasures.
Indeed.
I can I can understand why they would.
Hmm.
It's very distinct, but uh, and I in another light, it's also very interesting because anime and stuff and gaming and manga were kind of the redheaded stepchildren of Japanese society for a really long time, weren't they?
Oh god, yeah. I mean,
If you were an adult and you liked it, you were weird.
well, manga not so much, but anime has always been. It's like cartoons here. Let's once you hit a certain
Yeah.
age, it becomes weird. I mean, the only reason you see a lot of stuff nowadays that's starting to appeal to the older says because it really took off in the West. But for the most part, a lot of anime was yeah. Once you hit a certain age, it was like growing out of cartoons. A lot of people just stopped watching, and the ones that didn't either they were watching with their families or they were up late watching these late night blocks because well, let's be honest,
Yeah.
they couldn't air them at a normal time.
Right. Well, I guess that's a good nod. It's a good nod to otaku everywhere. That the media they consume is now being considered as a national treasure, possibly.
It's flattering, that is for sure.
I wonder if that's how it'll be viewed in Japanese culture, though.
That's good. I wonder myself because I mean honestly, I could see it having almost like what we see here in the U.S. where there's this respect, but to a degree. Because I mean, let's be honest. Works like the old school, like the Looney Tunes, the Merry Melodies, stuff like that, are still highly regarded as cultural works. Steamboat Willie, old Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, stuff like that is still highly regarded even among adults. But after that, it kind of starts to taper off. You know, like you have your landmarks, but people just kind of turn a blind eye to it otherwise.
Yeah. And I still, it is true that people still grow out of it a lot. A lot of my fellow nerdy friends, liked anime for a while and then they're like, "Oh, I don't like that anymore." It was a
Hmm.
good time and they get nostalgic about it, but
Yeah. I've seen that myself. To be honest, it's very common, even among these circles. Like for someone like you and me, who are definitely older than the 20 something age group, to be so deep into the fandom is kind of an anomaly, you know?
It is. Well, some of the old formulas do get pretty tiresome.
Amen to that.
We just are deep enough that we happen to see the breezes of fresh air that come through too. We don't miss
Mm.
them because we have our eyes out for everything.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Pop Team Epic has been one of those shows that I'm just watching. It's like this is something I've wanted to see for the longest time. Where it's a 30-minute shit post. Let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. Um, the humor is crass. It's often vulgar, but at the same time, there's a lot of clever takedowns of these old school tropes and stuff like that, and it just works beautifully.
Yeah. Or shows like Drifters that
Mm.
mix up different things.
Mm.
And I like it when this type of media uh allows you to view different things and process different things about reality from such a fantastical standpoint. That degree of separation is actually pretty healing to me. It's cathartic because it lets me um experience darkness or negativity or even joy or something from a distance that's comfortable. And I think that's why I appreciate some of the more twisted ones so much.
Amen to that.
Whereas the schoolgirl or the Naruto's, like the typical um shonen ones that follow the same formulas time after time after time. I've definitely grown out of those.
Oh yeah.
So
Next up on Black Clover, it's the same thing you saw in Dragon Ball Z, only there's more screaming somehow.
what? Impossible.
I have I actually had to turn that show down because I was waking up my tenant
Oh my
because they
god.
constantly scream at points.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I can definitely relate. I mean, there's only so many times you can see, say, cute girls doing cute things, cute guys doing cute things. The average, I got to get stronger, so I'm gonna keep training so I can beat the enemy to get stronger to beat the next enemy. I mean, there's only so much that you can take before you start mentally just checking out. Like, but
Yeah. And to some people that formula is comforting, like that
hmm,
predictability, They experience too much chaos in their lives or whatever, and they can come back and it's comforting to them.
oh,
They
absolutely.
know exactly what to expect. But for me, it gets frustrating. I like to be shocked.
Hmm. And I'll be honest, I do like the occasional show like that, but for the most part, I'm looking for stuff that's gonna at least, try and be somewhat daring. I mean,
Yeah. Like um Mushishi was really formulaic, but it was
hmm.
amazing.
Oh yeah,
I
Mushishi was
loved it.
wonderful.
So soothing and um weird. How
Mm.
can weird be soothing? But it was. I think that was the hook for me.
And I love Mushishi. I really do. I would love to get seasons 2 and 3 on DVD, but we can't do that.
Yeah, at least they're available. Well, season 2 is available for streaming. What about season 3?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it
Hmm.
on Hulu?
Uh, Crunchyroll, I think.
I think only one season is available on. I think only season 2 is available on Crunchyroll, but
All
both
right,
seasons 1 and 2 on Hulu. I don't know about season 3,
all right. Unless I'm thinking wrong.
unless they updated it.
See, I could be wrong about the length too. Let's see,
I'll check on
machine.
Hulu.
Oh, here we go. This is why it's a double length season. That's why I'm getting it wrong.
Oh, seasons. Yeah, I thought.
So it's 20 episodes instead of the usual 10. So that my bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would. That's a series I adore to no end.
it's so good.
Hmm.
I would I would have to spend a lot of time reviewing it to even be able to tell you why. I don't even know why, other than it's weird and soothing.
Yeah, that's a show that goes beyond speculate, like beyond description in some ways. You know.
Hmm. Another one that recently came out that was formulaic that I liked was they just released the quote unquote complete season on Blu-ray, and I was like, no, or complete series. I wanted more. It only had 12 episodes. Of course, the manga is still going on. The Morose Mononoke.
Oh man, that's on my list. I have to see that still.
Yeah, it's formulaic too, but it was really soothing to me. It's pretty episodic. The stories are pretty well contained. Um, it's about having your own problems solved while solving other people's problems. And I like that kind of plotline interaction.
Hmm.
So, and the characters were likable and it was pretty. I love the colors in it. The color palette was just great. Totally amazing. So,
I'll definitely have to give that one a look myself.
yeah.
For me, formulaic. I still have a deep adoration for Food Wars, even though it's getting to the point where it's just falling into that rut. But
Yeah.
and I mean Gintama. I mean, I love myself some Gintama. I do.
Gintama!
That is a show that I can watch all day, every day.
Gintama follows. Oh, me too. I've watched it literally from beginning to end about 3 times now.
Props.
So, yeah, it helped me through some hard times.
Mm,
I'm not even ashamed to admit it.
so good though.
It is. It's it follows a formula in that there's a lot of the episodes are self-contained, and it follows the formula that you stick with your family, whether it's your actual family or it's the family you choose.
Mm,
And it's about not letting the world trample you into complacency with its bullshit.
mm.
So it has that formula, but other than that, it's all over the place.
Oh
And that's what
man,
I love.
I love that show so much. I really do.
Yeah.
That's why
Yes.
That's why I'm so sad that Namaga got canceled. It was basically a new a Gintama in a new setting.
Oh my gosh. I got it didn't mix up all of the like weirdness like Gintama did though.
Yeah.
Like it had Gintama was weird and then it got serious and then it was weird and then it got serious, but Nambaka was like weird, 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 suddenly
Oh yeah.
bizarre seriousness.
It was literally just a concentration of what made Gintama so amazing. It's
And
just
I laughed when that boot dropped. I was like,
oh
"Oh,
yeah.
the fans are going to be so mad."
I I loved the boot drop because I'm just saying it's like okay, so who's gonna stop watching this week?
Almost everyone.
turn to Twitter. What the hell happened here? Where's my funny comedy? It's like, nope. This is you signed on for something from the Gintama team. You're getting your drama.
And and I'm encountering this as I'm writing my own fiction too, is that people either like single track simple characters that don't have any hypocrisy or
Mm.
complexity, or they like duplicity and complexity and seeming contradictions.
Mm.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of crossover, and that tends to happen in shows too, where you see something like Nanbaka and people can't take it when suddenly their silly stupid show gets real in a really bizarre way.
Oh yeah.
Like
And it does get bizarre. I mean, this is a point where you have a guy that literally just turned into a sword-handed monster, basically.
yeah, really just yeah, really dark. And they kept the sparkles.
Yeah, that was the best part. They kept the friggin' sparkles.
Because people and people who like their simple stuff can't handle it. That duplicity.
Oh
So
yeah.
I understand. I'm not with you, but I understand why you're mad.
Mm.
I laughed though. I
Yeah.
laughed a lot.
Oh yeah, I did too.
Non-Baka. And then Warden. Oh my gosh, we can't talk about Non-Baka. I'm sorry, people.
We need to talk about the Warden.
I love her.
I love her so much. She is amazing.
She has that duplicity too,
Oh god, yeah.
where she's super scary. She's so scary that she keeps the entire prison in line. And
Yeah.
then she's just a girl with a crush. Oh my god. So
Deep down,
adorable.
yeah, deep down, she's just a total marshmallow. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's confusing because I'm gay for her, but I'm straight, but I would totally go out with her. I don't know what's going on. I love her so much.
She's amazing.
Yeah, so she's that good, you guys. Check out Nambaka. You might hate it like, I don't know, 75% of the other people that I talk to, but it's worth a try.
It is. It's a great show. Highly recommended. And it's only 2 seasons, so it's not too long.
Yeah, 24 episodes, I think.
And if you like it, watch Gintama. You'll get 400 something episodes of amazingness.
Yeah. Gintama is a little is less bizarre in ways than Nambaka, because you have the historical fantasy part of Gintama, whereas Nambaka is just like it's just weird.
Yeah, and Gintama at least has that little grounding aspect. I mean,
Hmm.
granted, you have things like the Shinsengumi waiting in line for a Nintendo system, dressed up like Mario, while while and you got Elizabeth. I mean, just Elizabeth.
Oh my god, who is some guy in a costume
That's the best part. And,
pretending to be a creature? Elizabeth's arc was so good.
oh god, yeah, Elizabeth. That entire arc was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, you got that. But there is that grounding element.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's different flavors. If Nanbaka is a little too like bright and weird for you, then Gintama is a little toned down from that. Um it has more crass humor. I guess that also kind of grounds
Hmm.
it. Whereas
I'm
Nanbaka is just really kind of sugary and I don't know.
I'm amazed at it was so much crass humor in Gintama. I mean,
Oh, the newest season that's airing. Oh my gosh. Like they pulled out all of the stops. I could not believe some of the humor. Oh my god. Just you have the episode where Gintoki's everybody has something that's been turned into a screwdriver because some aliens want to fix something, and you have Gintoki's dick gets turned into a screwdriver.
Oh my god.
So when you have something like that happening, and so keep that in mind when I say that this most recent season gets turned like gets turned up like 3 notches, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And because it's Gintama, they have 2 of these arcs with interspersed with such crass humor right before the final closure of the series, which is going to be so serious and so epic that it's completely unrecognizable from the beginning. So, from the beginning of the season. So that's the kind of thing that you can expect if you like to be if you like to be heavily grounded after experiencing such crass humor. Check it out.
Oh god, yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna cry.
It's gonna
I'm
be a sad
already
day
crying inside. I'll be crying on the outside soon.
it's gonna be a sad day when it finally goes off the air after 15 years.
I'm so tense because we all know what happened to the Shinsengumi
Yeah.
and everybody that sided with the Aizu and the shogunate. We all know
Mm-hmm.
what happened to them. And the only major Shinsengumi that survived in real life isn't even a main Shinsengumi character. He appeared in like 2 episodes.
Mm.
Um so yeah, so I'm like, how is Sriracha gonna handle that? Is he going to, cut our hearts out? I mean, Okita already survived. He gave his sister tuberculosis instead of Okita himself.
Mm.
So he's changed a lot, but still, I don't know, I'm worried. So worried.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is gonna be a tense ending.
I wouldn't blame him either way.
Oh yeah.
I'll enjoy it either way, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's gonna be super intense.
It is.
we that was a huge tangent.
Yes, it was.
I hope everybody enjoys it.
Oh man, if not, they'll watch Gintama, find a love. We'll be back next month.
I hope you find your love in Gintama. Please, if you do, send us messages on Twitter or email because we want to hear from you. We want to hear from Gintama fans.
That we
I
do.
haven't found many, actually. Mike, you were the main person that I talked to about Gintama. I don't know anybody else.
That's a shame. It's such a wonderful show.
Yeah.
I'm amazed there aren't more, considering that this is a series that ran for 15 years.
It's kind of deep into the fandom because there are so many Japanese pop culture references.
Yeah, but I mean, it just strikes me as amazing because let me just give some grounding here. Dragon Ball Z ran from 1989 to 1996. This ran from. It's still going, mind you, for now. But this ran from 2005 to. Well, it's still going. So.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean.
And it does have a really kind of strange mixture
Mm,
of crass humor and intelligence that some people might find jarring.
mm,
It gets really real with the feels, and it is actually really clever in some ways, but there's really not clever humor mixed in there.
oh,
And
yeah.
so it tends to alienate people who are on either end of those extremes,
Oh,
people who
yeah.
don't like crass humor and people who don't like to get intelligent and stuff in their anime. So
Yeah, that episode where they went.
meta, I guess, is a better word.
That episode where they went skiing will always stand out as that that one moment where it's like, oh yeah, this is Gintama. You know,
Human boarding, Ningen boarding.
Yup.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Sriracha Sensei, what goes on in your head? I guess we know. Oh my gosh. There was a blurb in one of the manga, one of the books that was translated, and somebody asked him, one of the fans asked him after one of the arcs, "Are you tired, Sriracha Sensei? Because this seemed extra kind of strange for you." And he's like, "No, I wasn't tired. I'm just actually that weird. Sorry."
That's amazing. I am genuinely excited to see what he comes up with after this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh man.
Viz, you need to translate the rest of the manga. Seriously. Or Shonen Jump's website needs to translate it. Now that it's all digital. Somebody needs to translate this. It's unacceptable that it's not. Unacceptable.
There's only 71 volumes.
Get on it. Let's go. I'll sub just for that. Now, I was like, oh, Pokemon, people might not want to pay $3 a month for just Pokemon. I would sub to Viz on, or I'm sorry, Shonen Jump online. There's stuff just for Gintama, so yeah.
All right, I think now's a good time to break this off before we start talking about more Gintama. So, till next time, remember, human boarding is a thing, and you have to see what it is to understand what it is. Till next
Stay
time,
shiny, everyone.
have a great evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.